As a mental health professional, I work with mental health issues daily. It's a topic I'm passionate about, but it also has an impact on me outside of work. I have two younger brothers, and they are by far my best friends. So, my youngest brother told me he had been purging most of his meals for the past 2 years. I was shocked. I was also heartbroken. I knew about bulimia from my schooling, but had no experience working with the issue since I hadn't graduated yet. From what I did know, a major cause of eating disorders is low self-esteem. It was devastating for me to think he was unhappy with his body. Growing up, he was a little more overweight than his friends, and he did get teased. He is even able to pinpoint much of his problem to a girlfriend who made comments about his weight and compared him to leaner boys. Once my urge to talk some sense into her had passed, I realized my brother had a real problem. My other brother and I eventually convinced him to tell my parents, and they too were heartbroken. He was reluctant to get treatment at first because he thought it was a problem he could solve on his own. He could. He finally agreed to begin therapy. The years that followed were difficult for all of us. We saw small improvements, but we would still hear him throwing up at times. Even as a professional, I wanted to yell at him and tell him to stop, but I knew it wouldn't help. We were all frustrated. At some point, we learned that an underlying cause of his purging was anxiety, in addition to issues with body image. He was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder and was prescribed an anti-anxiety medication. Tried it for a while, and my family saw a difference, but all he saw was weight gain. He stopped the medication, but continued with the counseling. He was doing really well, his confidence was up, he was eating healthy and exercising, and he had a job he loved. Just over a year ago, he stopped going to counseling because he felt he had nothing left to talk about. Since finishing therapy, he's had a few short relationships, but none that have lasted. Unfortunately, this has caused him to relapse and purge every once in a while. He believes relationships don't work because women don't find him attractive. His anxiety has also increased to the point where he has anxiety attacks in grocery stores or other places where he has to spend money. When I heard about these new incidents of anxiety, I immediately encouraged him to go back to counseling, but he claims it won't help and refuses to try. Once again, my family is in a position where we can't do anything. My mom has threatened inpatient treatment. That just causes anger and frustration among all those involved. He's almost to the point now where he's ready to return to counseling, but it's a topic my family can't push. It's something he'll have to realize on his own. There's a lot I've learned by having a brother with bulimia. I learned that telling him he's perfect the way he is, telling him we all have insecurities with our bodies, telling him what he's doing is unhealthy, it's not going to change his behavior. Both his anxiety and self-esteem have to improve in order for his purging behavior to change. Unfortunately, my family can't promote this change. Even I, as a professional in mental health, can't help. He was doing great for a while, and then relapse occurred. With any battle, this is likely to happen at some point. One thought that has occurred to me is there are a lot of people that suffer from a lot worse. What my family is experiencing is minor compared to what some other families face. But that doesn't make it trivial. This has been a major stressor in my family. It's caused fights, tears, and at times disconnect. Any mental illness, no matter how minor it may seem, can cause stress on a family and even disrupt daily functioning. That's enough to consider it a problem. Finally, I learned what my role is in this situation. I'm in a difficult position as both a therapist and his brother. As much as I want to impart my professional wisdom on him, I have to remind myself I'm not his therapist. I can't ask him when the last time he purged or what his meals have been that day. He had a therapist and a nutritionist to do those things, and hopefully we'll go back to them soon. What I can do is be his brother. I can reinforce what an awesome person he is because he truly is. I can act normal with him and do the things we've always done. I can tell him I'm on his team and will always be rooting for him. And lastly, I can remind him if he ever needs to talk to his big brother, I will always be there for him. To those who have loved ones suffering from a mental disorder, I say this: your role is to be their supporter, not their therapist. If you don't know what to do, simply ask them, what can I do for you? Those may be the best 6 words you can offer.